something swings one way, it'll swing back the other way. And this little 3-year run for Michigan's been cool. My mom turned 50 this year. She went to Michigan, so it was cool for her to see a natty this year. But that never happening again. And the best thing that ever happened to Michigan fans is for Ryan Day to be I want to be right guy instead of a get it right guy. And I think with Chip Kelly there, he'll be a get it right guy. And it'll get ugly. And with that being said, I've said a couple of nice things about Michigan. JJ McCarthy's absolutely going to be a bust. Donovan Edwards is the blindest running back I've ever seen going back to Trent Richardson.
Facts.
Blake Corum, he looks like he ate Roman Wilson. They're the same person, and it's really uncomfortable.
All righty, welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Blue Show. We are excited this week to kick off the 10-day war.
10-week war, Bryce. See what you did?
10-week war.
Redo it.
No, we'll keep that in. Keep that in. Father of two. All right, 10-week war.
Yeah.
We got a special guest today. We got a great slate of folks to bring on. Can't wait to talk about everything with everybody. You put this all together. This is your baby.
Yeah, man. Oh, no, I'm really excited, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And honestly, it's really cool. We get to kick it off with a great personality in Buckeye football. Kris Drew from Minnesota Sports with Zach Smith. I'm really excited. I'm very excited, honestly, especially based off of how I got introduced into Ohio State Twitter, Buckeye Twitter. I wasn't that liked before, but
What?
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
Also excited to announce show sponsor as well. So your boys over here at the Scarlet and Blue Show are making plays. But we do have a sponsor, and that's our guy, Dylan Riches at the Riches Agency, part of Farm Bureau Insurance. Trust, integrity, and personal service still matters to a lot of people. Those values are alive and well in Farm Bureau Insurance agent Dylan Riches, the Riches Agency. Dylan offers service that's convenient to you, appointments that fit your schedule, and he'll get to know you face to face. Trust him with all your insurance needs. You need just one good insurance professional in your life. Let's make it Dylan. Call 616-600-0083 today with Farm Bureau Insurance, Michigan's insurance company. It's fired up to have Dylan on board and partnering with us for this show. All right, we welcome on a very special guest to the 10-week war. Guest number one, the man, the host of Minnesota Sports Show, Kris Drew. Kris, great to have you on, man.
I feel honored that I'm the first guest, dog. This feels like I'm doing my little award ceremony, my little tour, my little grand tour. This is like college football Rogan with two hosts, so I'm really excited about it.
Whoa.
I'm excited, man. I feel like I'm honored. Like, you guys are like geeked to have me. I'm geeked to be here.
Let's go.
Man, yeah. No, I was telling Bryce, man, I said, my first introduction to like a Buckeye Twitter wasn't the nicest one. I was like, man, Bryce, I was like, even Kris Drew, I don't think he liked me at first.
Oh, but no. Because you were in an abusive relationship with Ryan Day, and I didn't like that early.
And Kyle McCord.
Yeah, super abusive with Kyle McCord.
Yeah, that was bad. Man. That was bad.
No, honestly, I hated you for a good 6 days. Then I was like, you know what? He's not too bad once you get past the Kyle McCord love that I can't understand.
Well, it's over and done with now. Don't worry about that. He's an orange now, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, where he belongs.
So let's. I think that's a natural segue. So Kris, I mean, you got your finger on the pulse with a lot of Ohio State content, and then there's so much we can talk about. I was telling Garrison last week that I don't remember a program that's had. This is not a jab like offseason champs. This is more of just a straight fact of I don't remember a program that has had this much excitement from January 11th, whenever the national championship ended and when Sean Junkin announced that he's coming to Ohio State, to March 21st. I feel like so much has happened. Yeah. So what's the outlook? What's the how are we feeling right now, especially as we're right in the middle of spring ball?
So, I mean, honestly, you can go before that. You can start before the national title. This has been the loudest offseason since I've been covering Ohio State, probably the loudest offseason since I've started watching Ohio State way back in the day, and it starts with Kyle McCord hitting the portal right after Michigan wins the Big Ten title. Like it starts there, and then you go from there to Devin Brown, the first burn the boats tweet. Then you get Quinshon Judkins commits. Will Howard also commits. You get your second burn the boat tweet. You get your quarterback coach gone. I mean, everyone decides they're going to come back for another year. Then running back coach goes. You land Caleb Downs. You go through 2 offensive coordinators in a 2-week window, and it's just been really, really loud. And for me as a content creator, I love it. Right now, headspace wise, I mean, maybe this is a little bit controversial. I don't think Will Howard's any good, and so I do worry about him being the starting quarterback at Ohio State. But I'm pretty hopeful that Ryan Day gets the quarterback decision right this year, and that's kind of my big thing. I feel really good. I think Ohio State's going to have a top 3 defense. I think that Chip Kelly is an upgrade over Bill O'Brien, which I'll take any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it wouldn't be an offseason if Ohio State didn't have the loudest fan base. And that's kind of what it's become, and I'm 100% here for it. And it also wouldn't be an offseason without Michigan fans being super loud, even if they're about to have a 4-loss season. So
yeah, that's tough.
It's really, I mean, honestly, for it to be for us just to pass Black History Month and we're in March right now, I feel like I've lived 3 off seasons in a 3-month window.
That's what I'm saying, man. I a lot of good takes in there. Will Howard, that one I didn't expect that to say he's gonna be any good.
I'm totally against that. I'm completely against that. I think. Sorry. So I want to ask you a question, Kris. So do you think maybe you are, or a lot of people that feel that way, you're basing that off of the talent that he played with down in Kansas State, and now the talent he'll be able to playing with at Ohio State?
Did you watch the Big 12 title game?
I did.
Did you see what Quinn Ewers looked like against Oklahoma State?
I did.
Oklahoma State has an absolutely terrible defense. Terrible defense. And I watched a kid from Pennsylvania and Will Howard throw 3 interceptions against one of the worst defenses in the Big 12. It is the Big 10. So 2 things can be true here, right? Like the talent wasn't there. They do have an NFL skill player down there at Kent State. No one wants to talk about it. Fine, cool, got it. But my issue with Will Howard is for 4 years you were down there at Kansas State, and you're going into year 5, and your head ball coach comes to you and says, "We think you should go. You will not be the starter next year."
Yeah.
Avery Johnson is behind him, a true freshman. They said Avery's going to be a starter. So if you come back, you're going to be the backup. And for me, I'm like, wait a second. We took Lincoln Kienholz over Avery Johnson. We're supposed to have the quarterback developer. So in what world, if you are Ohio State, are you taking the Kansas State reject, considering how you recruit, and your head coach is an NFL guru?
That's fair.
I can't make it make sense. And if someone else can make it make sense, I get it. And I always feel like the talent thing is a massive cop-out because, yes, that's fine. Kansas State doesn't have the talent that they don't have the talent that Ohio State has. That's fine. They're also not playing against the same caliber defenses. Is Will Howard better than Kyle McCord? Absolutely. But my concern for Will Howard, more than anything else, is can you avoid the stop the bleeding game? He started bleeding against Kansas State as a super duper senior. Against Oklahoma State, and couldn't stop bleeding. And then I'm sitting back and I'm like, wow, this is a guy that not only lost his starting quarterback job once, but lost it twice. How would you feel if they said, you know who's starting quarterback for Rock is going to be this year? It's going to be Adrian Martinez. How would you feel about that?
I'd be sick.
Adrian, right?
I'd be sick to my. I'd be sick to my stomach. I'd be sick to my stomach.
Adrian took the job from Will Howard.
But okay. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. But then again, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. Right, Bryce knows this. If you ask me my honest opinion about JT Barrett, I will tell you. Okay. I think if you were to put JT Barrett anywhere not named Ohio State, he's not what you see at Ohio State. I think he's exactly what you would see in like a Will Howard. That's exactly what I think he is. I think he's a lesser talented guy who can win football games.
So when did the standard change for you?
The standard hasn't changed for me. What I do know is this. I don't need CJ Stroud. I don't need Justin Fields. I don't need Dwayne Haskins for this team to win a championship. That's what I know. I don't need that out of them. That's what I do know.
And I guess this is where I think me and you might differ. And Bryce, don't get it twisted. With Will Howard or without Will Howard, Michigan's still getting smacked by 28.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure.
So this is more a discussion about the truly elite because Michigan's cooked, done for. It's over. It's Jover in the words of Biden himself. But I'll say this: a national title is not enough for me. A natty's not enough for me. And I think in today's college football, that's fair to say, but maybe it's enough for me. But my bigger worry is that with the longer season, because of how long the playoffs are, and the amount of super duper seniors all around college football, and the talent pool of other places and the quarterback play this year, I think Ohio State, to win a natty, is going to have a game where their quarterback outduels the other quarterback. And I'll ask both of you guys this. If we're in a shootout and we're having a duel off, who would you rather have? Jackson Dart, Will Howard?
Jackson Dart. I can't.
GDG. These are all slam dunk questions. I think you're a smart guy.
Yeah, I know. I've been on the Jackson Dart train since USC. I'm picking Jackson Dart.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Jackson. That's probably a 10 seed Ole Miss. Carson Beck or Will Howard.
And we'll smoke their boots. No, we'll smoke their boots. That's my point, though. I don't think Ohio State needs to get into a shootout against a team like Ole Miss.
No, okay, forget the word shootout.
Okay.
You got game on the line. I need Will Howard to put together a 2-minute drill to go win a game. I don't feel good about that.
I've seen Kyle McCord do it.
You saw Kyle McCord do it on accident. He tried to go to game. He tried to get the game away.
But he did it.
He did it because he got a second chance. I promise you that Ole Miss safety is catching that. Ole Miss safety is catching that. Look.
Sometimes you just need a second chance, bro. Sometimes you need it.
Yeah,
you're talking about Notre Dame?
This is Will's. Talking
about Notre Dame final drive. Do a pick. Shut up. Yeah, you can get that. You're right. And you know what? Will Howard's an upgrade over Kyle McCord, and this team is better, and they can win a natty with Will Howard. But I don't have to feel good about it.
I can understand that.
Right?
So who's all right? If Howard goes down, Howard's not number one. You guys are embarrassment of riches in the quarterback room there. Who's your pick? Who's Kris Drew's pick to be starting quarterback week 1?
Week 1? Like of all the quarterbacks, who would I start with?
Yeah.
If you said Will Howard isn't going?
Yeah.
Okay. No, well, I think Will Howard's going to be 100% healthy. I think he's going to lose the job. But that's something that I told people I wouldn't say until
breaking news here.
Wait.
All right. Fine. You guys go to Eugene. Who's the quarterback in Eugene? Because that's the middle point of the season, right?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm biased. I already have like 7 Heisman bets for Devin Brown out.
Yeah. No, Bryce, you asking him this question is just.
You're on the that. Wow.
Bryce, he's the captain of it.
I'm in charge. I'm in charge of this Devin Brown movement. Every time a player gets hurt on DraftKings and I get a free bet, I put on Devin Brown winning the Heisman. And here's why, Bryson. And I don't know if you've heard this before, GDG, but do you know where Jackson Dart went to high school?
Is he from? He's not. Where is he from? Where is he from?
He went to a school in Utah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, was it the same?
Called Corner Canyon High School. And
yes,
when he was starting quarterback there, he didn't hold any records for them, or he held a couple records. But Zach Wilson held all the passing records there because he went to school there. And then Jackson Dart came after him. And then there was this guy. His name was Isaac Wilson, who's Zach Wilson's little brother. He was supposed to be the quarterback. And then Devon Brown transferred when he was committed to USC already. And they told him, if you go to Corner Canyon High School, you're not going to be the starting quarterback, and you're going to lose your offer to USC. He didn't care. All he wanted to do was go compete, and that was the best quarterback room in the country. He went, he won the job, and with an AC joint sprain in his shoulder, threw for 5,000 yards and led the nation in passing. And he only played the second half 2 times. Again, It wouldn't mean anything if it was a normal high school. But the fact that the run of quarterbacks went Zach Wilson, Jackson Dart,
who I think is trash.
Devin Brown. You can say what you want about Zach Wilson. He wasn't trash in
No,
college.
his senior, his junior year, he was very bad. I think about maybe 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His last year, which was the COVID year, they had a makeshift schedule where they didn't play one Power 5 team nor their own personal schedule. That was and then I kept telling everybody when he got out of there, go look at that schedule, see who they played, and look at the year before.
Who's a better college player?
Between
Zach
who?
Wilson or Will Howard?
God damn it.
You can't do this with me, dog.
Because Zach was wait.
Like Bryce.
Real quick.
Bryce, he's trying to do this with me. He's trying to do this with me. I'm 10,000 hours into talking into a microphone.
Yes, and this is gonna happen.
I'm Floyd Mayweather with
and
this.
This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen right now.
You're sitting here arguing with me, Zach Wilson in college.
Why are you telling me about high school stats though?
Will Howard.
But why are you talking about what Devin Brown did in high school in Utah? I don't listen.
Because
Bryce knows
I'm talking about a string of quarterbacks, and everybody at Corner Canyon High School, you know what they all said? Out of all 4 guys we've seen, the best one we've seen is Devin.
Wow.
Bro, my thing is this. I get that, and that's fine. It's fine enough. But
Bryce asked me who was going to be starting quarterback. I told you who I.
Bryce, if Will Howard is not the starting quarterback, because that was your question, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If he can stay healthy, which he hasn't shown the ability to do, I would say Devin Brown. If not, I think you should throw in Julian. I would just throw in Julian. I would.
Over Lincoln? I think Julian's body being physically.
I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this pregame first because honestly, I think the best athlete in the room is Lincoln, isn't it?
Yeah, let me trip you up though. So you're on me about what Devin did in high school and how I can't evaluate him based on that, but you want to put Julian Sayin in when he's never played a college snap, never been through a college program? Like, explain to me that. Like, how can you have belief in Julian Sayin, but I can't have belief in Devin Brown?
Because I'm allowed to pick one player per year that I'm overly hyped about off some highlight film, and this is the kid.
Bryce, I got him. I walked him into the trap.
He did.
I can admit my biases.
I walked him into it. I put the cheese on the trap.
What kind of cheese are you talking? We're talking blue cheese?
Yeah, I believe in that Gary Airy cheese named after our safeties coach.
Amazing.
Ready for the next question? I'm feeling warmed up. I feel like Floyd.
Yeah.
I want to.
Oh, Bryce, I've been meaning to ask you. Who's your DC right now?
Wink.
I was like your D-line coach. I'm sorry.
He made a horrible mistake. So now we have.
Dang, that's crazy. And he resigned?
He blew a .16, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Hold up, bro. Is there cussing a lot on this network?
To an extent. But it's a family network.
Yeah.
But please don't let us,
No. So, like, sometimes people drink, and then some people drink. I was talking to Zach, bro. He was like, "There's no way, bro, even saw the line." So I'm surprised. So he had to have a push to start car because there's no way he was getting a key in it. And he had to have been like I'm lucky he didn't kill anybody because that would have been.
Yeah. That's the best part.
He dunked his head in a barrel of Hennessy and then came up and said, "Let's give me the keys, Roger."
He must have thought he was still in Wisconsin or something where they're all lax and that's part of life. But I don't know, man.
Like, what is it? 2 weeks on the job?
Not good.
That's
not good.
I'm disappointed in him because it was Black History Year, bro. Like, y'all got the most black coaches in the FBS, I think. And so for him to do that, to choose that during this year of all years, disgusting.
Hey, Chris, on that, I told Bryce this, and I want all them dudes to fail. All right, I want all. I only laid off of Sharon Moore during February because it's Black History Month. After that, it's all go. It's all go for him. I don't care. He can be pumpernickel for all I care. I don't.
I mean, Sharon Moore has checkered Vans and listens to Linkin Park, so I don't really feel bad not rooting for him.
Wait. So are you dissing Linkin Park?
Always.
Right. So we can move on to the next question.
Are you a Linkin Park guy?
Bro, I know the whole first album by heart.
I know that.
Hybrid Theory.
Yeah,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
hold up, pause, bro. Hold up. I programmed an alternative rock station. You don't got to yell at me. Calm down, Jamal. Like we're not doing that here. Whoa, put the 9 down.
Hey man, I'm just
Top defensive line candidates, though. I think top of the list, Larry Johnson's, I think, number one for us.
Is that the player to be named later in the
uh-oh.
Washington and
In that
Madison
Washington,
trade?
yes, hoping it's him.
Mm.
Hoping it's him.
Oh, Bryce, I also saw how much whatchamacallit, what's his name?
Wink.
Not Wink, but the dude that left us. Can't remember his name
Oh,
right
you know
now.
his name. What's his
No,
name?
I don't. No,
Nine-year
I
legend.
saw his contract. It's only like I think it's only
75K more.
yeah, not much.
No,
It's surprising. It's
No.
surprising. I hate
But let's talk about that, because I did see a clip, Chris, from your guys' show talking about how, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think, did Zach say that he's like, you should go, you should take it?
Yeah. Do you know too much about Zach? Like I can give a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, please.
We had a live show on Friday. I don't know if you know this, Bryce. We had the Friday before Tony took the job at Michigan. We do a once a month. We do like a big show out at a bar, and everybody comes out. And Tony came. Tony was at the show, and surprised me. There's actually a moment in the show that I stop and I'm just smiling and pointing because I couldn't believe he was there. And I didn't say who it was because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, because obviously our show, a little volatile, a little divisive.
no.
And, yeah. And that was Tony Alford walking in the front
wow
row of the live show and came on over. And during the first commercial break, and this was a couple Fridays ago, I went over there to go talk with him and chat with him, just because I was, big Tony guy, big Tony fan. And I'd known that Zach and Tony had been talking for a little while, because they were together when they won the national title, or maybe the year after they won the national title in 2015 at Ohio State.
Yeah, 2015.
And basically, Ryan Day didn't extend Tony Alford even after landing Judkins and keeping Trey. And when you don't do that, but the year before, you give Parker Fleming an extension and a raise after the worst kick in playoff history, after the fake punt blunder against Michigan, and after the not 12, but 13 men on the field against Georgia when you're about to run a fake punt, that guy gets an extension, and then you fire him anyway, so he gets the buyout. And so Tony, for a month, they've asked him to take a pay cut, and then they wouldn't extend it. And that's asinine, considering that Ohio State is what it is. And Ryan Day has maybe not been the best with coaches. And so Zach and Tony went through it, and Zach told him to go. It's time. And I don't think Zach had the final say in it. I think Tony was just, looking for some non-biased advice. And I think it is absolutely fair to say, for a career person, it's not a bad move. Now, for the fans, I think it's important to remember that coaches are not fans.
Yeah.
They will make the best decision for their family 9 times out of 10. If like here we go, guys. Like if I'm doing a show with Zach, I'm doing a show for a long time with Zach, and you guys hit me up and say, I got this amount of money for you in 3 years. And I go back to Zach, I'm like, hey, they got a 3-year deal for me, man. What's up? And I don't hear from you for a month. Congrats, I'm a part of your guys' network now. And so, that's not the fan in me. That's the career person. And so, yes, that is indeed what happened. Now Tony made the right decision for him and his family. The fan side of me hates it. When I was talking about the live show, I was like, I can't wait to see your unit this year. And now I can wait. It makes me sick to my stomach, freaking sick to my stomach.
Too late.
Yeah, dang. But,
it is such a good point, though, that you are right. Like, the fans get so hot and worked up by all of this, and this is a business. And a lot of these guys are pretty connected. I mean, when Washington and Madison left Michigan, Madison is tight with Urban Meyer. That was Urban Meyer's suggestion. Like, this is I think that coaching circles, I mean, you would know better than we would. It's a pretty tight circle for a lot of these guys.
Well, they were all down. So Madison was down there at Florida with Zach. So like Zach, like here we go. Here's
exactly.
That Florida staff, let me just lay it out for you. That Florida staff, Madison was on it. Justin Fry was on it. Ryan Day was on it. Zach was on it. Dan Mullen was on it. Like Stan Drayton was on it. And he was the running back coach at Ohio State early. Like they had a ton of guys down there. And coaching circles are small circles. And once you're part of like a tree, you can go wherever you want. And I mean, I know people like to act like Tony Alford is like, oh, like Tony Alford is not a Buckeye through and through, right? Tony Alford was at Notre Dame and came to Ohio State and like brought Coach Key with him. So I don't know. I mean, it's not the end of the world for me. For me, I'm more angry that it was Michigan, but also like I'm not gonna say he's a bad person. I guess the part of it. People think he's a bad guy because of it. No, I think it sucks. I think he left the worst. I think he left a better situation, but at the end of the day, it's about dollars and cents, and he's got a chance to make a lot of money over there at Michigan, and then Michigan's going to get blown up. He's going to get his buyout money. He's going to go somewhere else. So
nice. That's good lad there. But no, it's a good point, man. It'll be interesting to see.
Are you excited, man, Bryce? Because I know a lot of Michigan fans were very like, Mike Hart's better than Tony Alford, which is one of the worst takes I've freaking.
It is.
I'm so sorry.
It is.
One of the worst takes I've ever heard. Were you on that boat before, or were you just lying and saying Mike Hart was better than Tony Alford? Be careful, because I listen, Bryce. I listen to your show.
I know. We talked about this last week when we were talking about like is Mike Hart a legend, and I was saying that class, Mike Hart, Chad Henne, Jake Long, those guys didn't really win anything. They were awesome, but they didn't really win anything. So can you be a legend? I don't know. But Mike Hart has records, and I think
you can be a legend without winning anything.
I don't think you can at a school like Michigan, and especially that school like Ohio State. Like I think.
Well, let me strip it down to you and make it more about. Let me prove you wrong. Braxton Miller never won a natty as a starting quarterback at Ohio State. Is he a legend?
I would say no. Would you say he is?
Oh yeah,
he's absolutely.
Really?
He's a legend at Ohio State.
Under what criteria?
Under the criteria of impact. He changed the quarterback trajectory for Ohio State forever. I think legend is more about impact and less about winning. I think winning can be a huge part of the impact, but you can be a legend just off of pure sheer talent. Like if you went to Minnesota and you asked, is Kevin Love a legend here? Kevin Love averaged a double-double for 10 years for them. Absolute legend. Like if you go to Houston and you say, is James Harden a legend here? Absolutely.
You think so?
30,
what
36.
About Pryor? Terrell Pryor.
He's a
legend.
I'd say he was the one who set the course because didn't Miller go there because?
I would say Troy Smith, but
Miller. Here's the thing about Braxton. Braxton Miller was so important. So here we go, and I'm going to make fun of your program here for a quick sec, Bryce.
Let's do it,
please. Maybe I don't know.
Braxton Miller made sure this ship didn't sink. He was a 5-star. All everything that in the heat of all the allegations, in the heat of the NCAA coming down, he decided to go to Ohio State. That mattered. That would be the equivalent of Bryce Underwood from Michigan, 5-star all everything, deciding to go to Ohio State, Michigan, in the middle of your scandal right now to keep this thing moving forward on the right path. He did that.
New coaches and everything.
He stayed. He was the man, and honestly was one throw away from beating you guys as a true freshman. And he stuck through it and then didn't transfer after he got hurt and couldn't throw a football again and stayed there to be a part of the run. Braxton Miller's a legend. Terrell Pryor is also a legend. Troy Smith never won a natty. Legend. He won the Heisman though.
No Heisman.
That one kind of excludes.
Where do you stand on Barrett? JT Barrett.
JT Barrett is
a trust fund kid.
A tricky one for me because if you take the run from Terrell Pryor to Kyle McCord, he's probably the second worst quarterback. That's not entirely true. Actually, Bowserman was in there somewhere, but I don't think he counts. Him.
He got to a natty.
Yeah, you could have got to a natty. Bryce could have got to a natty. I could have got to a natty.
Handing the ball to Beanie.
Justin Fields. He's a legend. What do you win? No Heisman, no natty. Is Justin not a legend to you, Bryce?
Chase Young.
I don't think he's. I feel like our legend status is getting a little diluted right now.
So is Chad Henne a legend to you? Is he a Michigan legend?
Yeah, he's a no. Aren't we talking about like school legends, or are we talking about like national legends?
Yeah, school legends.
Chad Henne is a Michigan legend.
Yeah, Chad Henne's absolutely a Michigan legend. And Justin Fields, if you pulled 100 Ohio State fans, 96 of them would say Justin Fields is an Ohio State legend.
And if you ask who the best quarterback in Ohio State history is, a lot of them are going to vote for him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, that 19 team, it was stacked, and he was part of that, no doubt about it. But I don't know. I feel like I put Braxton at least over him.
Over who?
Over Fields, if you're going to go under this logic.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, then to get back to your point, Mike Hart was a legend on the field carrying the ball, and he had a good stint in Indiana, and then I thought his trajectory where he was going as a coach and even as a recruiter, like you got Donovan Edwards, like you actually didn't really recruit Corum, but you got guys, and I felt like I thought it was going that direction. So he just didn't have this much experience at the running back position as Alford does.
Okay, so who's a better coach? That's a long way to talk. I just want you to tell me point blank who's the better football coach.
I think you have to give it to Alford just for longevity. But by the end of this all, like I don't know where Hart's going to go. Hopefully not Ohio State. By the end of this all, could Hart be better? Possibly.
Oh, I just want to know who's a better coach right now.
Yeah,
and that's all that matters. So does that mean that Ryan Day is a better coach than Sharon Moore?
Jury's out.
Jury's out. I thought you said longevity matters.
You said that's what you said, right?
Yeah, at the moment.
Didn't you just say that?
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. All right, Chris.
GDG.
I've
been in this game too long,
bro.
Dude, circles around us, Garrison. All right,
I got 10,000 hours on a microphone.
Chris, we're definitely having you back on if you're willing to come back on.
Yeah, dude,
my man's hot. My man's hot on the mic right now.
Pause. I got two questions though for you, Chris, before we go, because we got a couple minutes here. What is your message to Michigan fans? Because we got obviously probably half of our audience is Michigan fans. And what's your message to Ohio State fans?
Michigan just went on one of the coolest 3-year runs ever. You very rarely see it like go step by step like that. I think it's been really tainted by the cheating scandal. There's a couple players in Michigan that I've enjoyed rooting for the last couple of years. The two of them, little Mike Sainristil and Keon Sabb. Obviously, I'm so thrilled that neither of them are there anymore. But for this little run that's happened, it's going to get real ugly for them for the next 5 years. I mean, I've seen this before. I'm a Georgia Tech fan through and through to my core. And I once upon a time saw Georgia Tech beat Georgia back-to-back years and thought that, oh my God, it's happening. The transition's happening. It didn't happen. I saw Ole Miss go 2 straight against Nick Saban. Chad Kelly going stupid. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. Didn't end up happening. For every time something swings one way, it'll swing back the other way. And this little 3-year run for Michigan has been cool. My mom turned 50 this year. She went to Michigan. So it was cool for her to see a natty this year. But that shit's never happening again. And the best thing that ever happened to Michigan fans is for Ryan Day to be I want to be right guy instead of a get it right guy. And I think with Chip Kelly there, he'll be a get it right guy. And it'll get ugly. And with that being said, I've said a couple of nice things about Michigan. JJ McCarthy's absolutely going to be a bust. Donovan Edwards is the blindest running back I've ever seen going back to Trent Richardson.
Facts.
Blake Corum, he looks like he ate Roman Wilson. They're the same person, and it makes me really uncomfortable. The Nugent dude, honestly, I think he'll be a solid player or whatever. So that's one thing I want to say nice about him. And Keon Sabb did the best thing ever, like going down there to Bama to replace Caleb Downs, because he knows the Michigan Titanic is sinking. To Ohio State fans, shut the heck up, man. Let's get through this. Let's get right. And then we can start being loud again in November. And when I mean loud, I'm talking about if 5 Michigan fans don't block you before that game or right after that game, you haven't done it right. Do whatever you need to do. Like if you're from Ohio, watch as much Adrian Broner interviews as you can to get your trash talking right. Watch as many Draymond Green flagrant foul videos to get your flagrant foul game right for when that gets here. And I can't, I wish Michigan was going to be a little better next year because I would like for Ryan Day to be able to tie up his record next year against Michigan by beating them back to back. Word to Drake, I don't think that'll happen because they're going to be a 4-loss team, but order will be restored in the Wild West. It is college football. It's important for Ohio State to win a natty every 10 years, and they missed the mark, but they'll get it this year.
Great answers. And Chris,
writing a lot of checks there, but I like it.
No, they're not really checks. They're more like proposals.
They're hot takes.
No, not that hot. They ain't that hot.
Wait, what was the hot take in there, Bryce? I would love to know.
JJ McCarthy's a bust.
That's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take.
There's a projected top 5 pick.
A lot of top 5 picks are bust, Bryce.
Are raving about it.
There is a YouTube video out about how JJ McCarthy's about to have everybody fooled, and it has, I believe, over like 200,000 views or whatever.
Is it the guy with the what's his name? I think I watched it the other day. Well, he has like a yellow background in his picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched it the other day. He tore him a new one in that film session. Yes, he's not what you think he is, Bryce.
Okay, we'll see.
Like here we go. Like Zach, like when people were saying that Zach Wilson was going to be a bust, was that a hot take?
Not for me. I thought it was just dead on right.
I'm just asking Bryce. Was that a hot take that Bryce was gonna, or that not that Bryce that Zach Wilson was going to be a bust? Was that a hot take?
He had the one throw in the combine or there's pro day. People rave about. I'm with Garrison there. I never thought he would be what he was.
Yeah, but he was a consensus number 2 quarterback in the draft class. So
you can bust.
Right. So Bryce, so how come that's not a hot take, but me saying that about JJ's a hot take?
Because you guys are just full of hate.
Oh my goodness.
Because he's undefeated against you guys.
Just full of hate. So Chris, before we close out here,
I love you guys. Thank you.
I have a question for you real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Take the quarterback out of the situation. Give me the one player who you believe will be one of the biggest reasons Ohio State wins the national championship. The one player.
I think Jordan Hancock's gonna win a Thorpe Award or be top 3. Him at that nickel spot, I think, is going to be very disruptive. I think he's going to have a really big season, and a light-skinned dude wearing number 7. I feel like that means a lot.
Hey, my man.
Him and Carnell Tate. I think are the 2.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Love it. All right, Chris, seriously, man, can't thank you enough. This was awesome. We hope to come back on. You're the man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Hey, man, I'm really appreciative of you doing this. This is awesome. Of course, like Bryce said, we'll do it again.
Got to. I'd be offended if you didn't invite me back. You know, I'm so much about every time I get on the microphone, I want to do so well that I get the invite back. So that's part of the
man.
Part of the draw.
You got it. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, deuces. OH.
Go blue.